The Taming of the Shrew for William Shakespeare. Christopher Sly, a poor and drunken man, falls asleep outside an alehouse. A rich lord finds him and decides to play a trick on him. He orders his servants to dress Sly in fancy clothes, put him in a soft bed, and tell him that he is actually a nobleman who has been sick for many years. When Sly wakes up, he is confused. The servants insist that he is a rich man and that he only imagined his old life. At first, Sly does not believe them, but when they continue to treat him like a lord and bring him fine food and drink, he starts to accept it. To entertain him, they bring in a group of actors to perform a play. This play is The Taming of the Shrew. In the city of Padua, a rich man named Baptista Minola has 2 daughters. The older daughter, Katherina, is known for being angry and rude. She argues a lot, scares men away, and does not want to marry. She often shouts at her father and insults her sister. The younger daughter, Bianca, is sweet and quiet. Many men want to marry Bianca because she is beautiful and gentle. However, their father has made a strict rule. Bianca cannot marry until Katherina finds a husband. This rule makes Bianca's suitors, Hortensio and Gremio, very upset because they must wait for Katherina to marry first. They try to think of a way to find a husband for Katherina so they can have a chance to marry Bianca. A young nobleman named Lucentio arrives in Padua with his smart servant, Tranio. Lucentio has come to study at the university, but when he sees Bianca, he falls in love at first sight. He immediately forgets about studying and decides to do whatever it takes to be close to her. To get near her, he dresses up as a schoolteacher and offers to teach her. At the same time, his servant Tranio pretends to be Lucentio and acts like a rich man to arrange a marriage with Bianca's father. This trick allows Lucentio to spend time with Bianca and try to win her love. Meanwhile, a new man comes to Padua looking for a rich wife. His name is Petruchio, and he is strong, confident, and a little wild. He does not care about love. He just wants a wife with a big dowry. When he hears about Katherina, he decides to marry her. Even though people warn him about her bad temper, he is sure he can handle her. He talks to Baptista and promises that he can make Katherina a good wife. Baptista is happy to hear this because he wants his older daughter to be married. He agrees to the marriage if Petruchio can make Katherina accept him. When Petruchio meets Katherina, they argue right away. She calls him names, but he pretends she is being sweet. When she insults him, he laughs and acts as if she likes him. When she slaps him, he warns her that he is not afraid of her. Instead of fighting, he says she is the most wonderful woman in the world. He tells her that they will marry whether she agrees or not, and he announces the wedding to Baptista. Katherina is shocked and angry, but she cannot stop the marriage. On the wedding day, everyone waits for Petruchio, but he does not arrive. Katherina feels embarrassed and thinks she has been abandoned. Finally, Petruchio comes, but he is wearing old, dirty clothes. He behaves very badly, yelling and acting wild. During the wedding, he curses, throws food, and kisses Katherina roughly in front of everyone. Then, instead of staying for the wedding feast, he forces Katherina to leave with him immediately. She has no choice but to go with him. When they reach Petruchio's house, Katherina expects a normal married life, but instead she faces many tests. Petruchio starts a strange plan to tame her. When she is hungry, he refuses to let her eat, saying the food is not good enough. When she is tired, he keeps her awake all night by shouting and making a mess. He does not let her wear nice clothes, saying they are not good enough for her. He constantly argues with his servants, complains about everything, and makes life very difficult for Katherina. Slowly, Katherina becomes tired and confused. She starts to agree with everything he says just to avoid more trouble. She realizes that she cannot win by fighting him, so she begins to change her behavior. Back in Padua, Bianca's suitors continue to compete for her. Hortensio sees that Bianca likes Lucentio, so he gives up and decides to marry a rich widow instead. Lucentio and Bianca secretly get married. To complete the marriage, Petruchio, who is pretending to be Lucentio, tricks an old merchant into acting as Lucentio's rich father. The plan works, and the marriage is approved. But soon the real Lucentio's father, Vincenzo, arrives and exposes the lie. Despite the confusion, Lucentio and Bianca's love is accepted, and they stay married. Katherina and Petruchio return to Padua for Bianca's wedding. On the way, Petruchio continues testing Katherina. He looks at the sun and says it is the moon. When Katherina disagrees, he scolds her until she says he is right. She finally understands that arguing with him is useless. At the wedding feast, the men make a bet on whose wife is the most obedient. Each husband calls his wife, but Bianca and Hortensio's wife refuse to come. To everyone's surprise, Katherina obeys immediately. She then gives a long speech about how wives should obey their husbands. She says that men work hard for their wives, and in return, women should be kind and respectful. To prove her obedience, she puts her hand under Petruchio's foot, showing that she has changed. Petruchio is very happy with his success. He kisses Katherina, and the play ends with his proud announcement that he has tamed the shrew. However, people still argue about what Katherina's change really means. Some believe she has truly become an obedient wife. Others think she is just pretending to be submissive to survive in a world where men have all the power. Different versions of the play show different ideas. Some make Katherina look weak and defeated, while others make her seem clever and in control. No matter how it is performed, The Taming of the Shrew remains one of Shakespeare's most interesting and debated plays. What do you think? Did Katherina truly become an obedient wife? Or is she merely pretending to submit in order to survive in a world dominated by men? Write your thoughts in the comments.